Hey everyone, this is Dave Dubeau with another Property Profits Real Estate podcast show. Today it's my pleasure to be interviewing Monika Jazyk, all the way from RP Investments in beautiful Ontario. How are you doing today, Monika?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dave?
I am fantastic. Any better and I'd be twins.
Love it. I love it. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Well, it's my pleasure. So Monika, for those folks that aren't familiar with you, you are a professional real estate entrepreneur and a wealth builder. So tell us a little bit about how you became that. How did you, what has your journey in real estate look like?
Our journey has been a very tumultuous journey, that's for sure. We started off as investors, just people ourselves who wanted to build wealth. We tried things the traditional way. It wasn't working. We wised up pretty fast and realized we have to do something different.
So
we have to start
investing like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that kind of stuff. What we're all told we should do. Yep. Okay.
Yes, exactly. We did exactly what we did what we're told to do, and we realized it's not working, and we have to do something different. And the reason it really affected us so much was we were living off one salary because our goal was for me to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. So finances were really, really tight. My husband was making great money, but still it was really almost hand-to-mouth kind of living. But we still were trying to save the traditional way.
Yeah.
So we were going through all our standard savings, and it really hit us hard to realize the only thing that would make a difference in our financial plan would be for me to go to work full-time. And so for an economy, and I guess you're the same in out west as well, but here in the Toronto area, and Vancouver, they're probably the most expensive places to live in Canada. Mm-hmm. And any sort of housing economy that requires 2 six-figure salaries for people simply to get by, I really don't think that is healthy. Yeah. And it kind of put me off a bit and made me really passionate about finding a different way to do things. And we started off as real estate investors, and that's how we started getting and moving forward. And like I say, it was tumultuous. We were on our own. We figured a lot of stuff out. But at the end of the day, we did create a life of financial freedom for our family. And now we've helped other Canadians do the same.
Nice. So was there any particular thing, like you were doing what everybody told you to do? What was it that clued you in that real estate was a better choice?
Well, first of all, I wasn't doing what anyone told me to do because no one told us to do anything. Like this is like over 10 years ago, and I'm sure you felt the same way because I know you've been doing this for a while. But we didn't have like all these podcasts and all this information. No one was really doing it. And it came across Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah. And I love this book, and I love him because he is such a game changer. Like that book has changed and transformed people's minds. It won't teach you how to do real estate, but it just kind of turns that 2-millimeter change in your mind. And all of a sudden your whole view towards finances is just totally shifted. And he gave us, the idea that, there's another way to do this. And it was incredible. So that was the game changer. But after that point, we didn't have any support. So we figured out how to do it. And that's kind of led to a lot of the mistakes as well. We didn't really have anyone showing us and guiding us and giving that support. We kind of had to learn as we went along. Yeah. And I think a lot of people go through this in real estate. They feel that pain and that need to make a difference. They go out there and they do it. And then they say, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing here. And they make some mistakes, which is totally fine and perfectly normal because that just means you're learning. But then they stop. They say, uh-oh, this isn't for me. I messed up. This is just for other people. Or everyone at the water cooler was right. This doesn't work. So I'm going to stop. So maybe we're slow learners because we just kind of kept going. And then we figured it out.
Nothing wrong with that. So what kind of investments did you get involved in when you first got started? What kind of strategy were you focusing on?
Well, we started off with the buy, rent, hold. We inadvertently actually started with a BRRRR, but we did it all wrong. So we bought, we renovated, we did not refinance, but we rented. And we did our renovations from our own money, so we didn't know how to properly leverage or work with a proper mortgage specialist that would tell you purchase plus improvement or how to use a line of credit. We didn't even know what a refinance was. We were so green. But it was a good property, like we started off okay with that, and we were confident enough to move on to the next one. And once again, I guess you could say we did a full burr, and we did end up refinancing that one. Actually, we refinanced that property twice. That property, we still have it, and it's actually like paid for itself 3 times over. It's been a great property. But once again, we got it. We did it right. We got it for under fair market value. And we renovated it from top to bottom. It was a total house rehab that we intended on holding. But once again, we didn't have that savviness to do the refinance. So it wasn't like your typical burr. We were kind of learning as we're going. But after we did receive some real estate education, we knew these concepts and we knew what to do. Now, the problem with our real estate education was we went from getting 3 buy, rent, holds to getting some real estate education, which introduced us to this whole new world of investing. And we got so excited, we ended up doing, in our first year of real estate, over 100 transactions.
Wow.
We were flipping, we were doing commercial, we were doing residential, we were doing land development, cottage properties, vacation rentals, you name it, we were doing it. And all of a sudden we took this real estate investor badge and kind of stuck it on, and we're just all over Ontario doing everything. And it was insane. And a lot of people say, wow, that is so incredibly successful. And believe me, at that time, we thought we were it. Like, we just thought we were the coolest people on the planet. This is almost 10 years ago. No one was doing this. I had on my phone all the time. This is 20-hour days. Like, we thought this is what success looks like.
Right.
And I always talk about this in our book, Real Estate Mistakes. After a year of keeping up this kind of pace, finally, actually it must have been a year and a half, 2 years into this, we decided it might be a wise thing to get our taxes done. And after, 9 unfiled returns because of these 3-tier accords, our accountant was like, yeah, you might want to change your strategy. You're pretty much this close to like losing everything.
Wow.
So even though it feels like you're successful because you're so transactional, everyone loves what you're doing, you're doing all these great deals, and so much money is coming in, it's inevitable to also make mistakes. And the mistakes prove to be almost more costly than the success. Mm. So when we started out, we were doing everything. 3 buy, rent, holds turned into a whirlwind of activity. And it wasn't until we really stopped and regrouped that we really achieved that financial freedom in our lives.
So through that process, did you think was part of your learning curve figuring out that you're probably better served by focusing on one market or one strategy, or do you still do a bunch of different things all over the place?
Well, so what we did is, I do believe in all those strategies, and I'm very good at all those strategies. So I'm truly blessed. We've actually helped over 1,000 Canadians get the freedom in their life like we have in ours, because I'm an excellent consultant, because I'm the first one you could come to and ask for advice, because we have been there in like every single situation. There's a lot of consultants, I think, out there, and I'm not sure what their background is, or they might know it on theory, but we have been knee deep up in this stuff several times. So I do see the value in all these different types of opportunities, and we can help people who want to explore these different types of opportunities, whether it's wholesaling, whether it's flipping, buy, rent, hold, commercial real estate, land development, raising capital, any of that stuff. And I am the first one to be able to give them advice sort of thing on it, to do it the real way. So real property investments always goes to helping real people build real wealth in real estate. Now, not all the opportunities that we advise on for wealth building necessarily is real estate. We love passive opportunities as well, but they're all backed with real estate, because we love what real estate represents. We think it's the most secure investment out there. So I do see value in all these opportunities, but I see success when people take the time to focus and they look past the spokes and mirrors and they really do it the real way. Wholesaling, for example, it can work. I wholesaled myself $1 million out of debt pretty much. I know how to wholesale. But there's the strategies, the bandit signs, all these things. I guess maybe it works for some, but there's a whole different way to wholesale a lot more effectively that really kind of sets you apart from the competition. And it doesn't require a $50,000 mentorship. It requires some solid advice from someone who's actually done it, some simple steps, and then the commitment from yourself to actually do that work. So I think that's kind of the difference. I do see value in all of it. And now at Real Property Investments, we do have 13 outside consultants that we work with. And we have different real estate specialists in each one of our high growth areas that can help people with the active real estate, with models that actually work and that people actually know their numbers, and that it's a turnkey system. They don't have to try to figure it out on their own. But we do have a lot of these passive investment opportunities as well. And we also talk about those. And we grow our own money in all these opportunities as well, because what gave us financial freedom is what we kind of refer other people to do too. Very
good. Monika, I know one of the things that you guys are very, very active in, well, you're active in a lot of different things, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've started several real estate investment clubs. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that whole process, the benefit that has created for you as well as your members, and the big benefits of attending clubs for people that perhaps aren't attending as much as they should right now.
Excellent question. So we started our first investment club almost 9 years ago. It was called the Real Estate GTA JV Networking Group Investors. It was this huge convoluted name. We were just new in the game, and we kind of had our properties, and we wanted to start meeting people because no one in our circle was investing in real estate, and there was no support. I think there was Rain and us, basically. And so I had, our kids were so small. We were expecting number 4 at this time, this was, or I think we're actually expecting number 3 at this time, sorry. But our kids were small, and we couldn't go out to Mississauga to Rain. We're here in Markham, so it's about, 45-minute drive to get babysitters and all that stuff. Yeah. We just wanted something closer, and there was nothing. So we just started this free group, and we'd meet at these places around the GTA area, and it was just kind of to get to know new people, but it was also to try to get us JV partners, because this is when we were trying to get people to just partner with us, and it was all about us and us. So one day we were doing this, and it was great, and then I had this baby, and then I had to bring the baby, and it's the real estate group with the baby we were known as for a while. So we were really committed to seeing the value of going every month, and to show people not to stop. If I could facilitate a group 2 weeks after giving birth, bringing a baby to host an event, it really shows people, nothing really should stop you. If you really do believe in something, you should go for it. So then one day, we're at the event, and these 2 great gentlemen come up to me separately, actually. I received 2 separate calls, and they said, I really enjoyed your event. I was wondering if I could speak at your event. And I said, what? And then my phone beeped, and I had the same question from someone else. And I said, what? This is insane. People want to speak at our event? I never even saw it going there. I thought it was just like-minded people. Anyways, so to fast forward 9 years now, those 2 gentlemen, Marcin Drodz, who owns Into Life Capital, and Mike Wolf of Mike Wolf Mastery, just stood on the stage at our very first showcase ever. We had over 100 people. It was an amazing day. It was a full day event, and actually presented their presentation on the stage at our first full day event. And actually, we actually reflected on that memory that these are the first 2 people that met us. And because at that point we couldn't go to a free spot, we had to go to a community center and charge everyone $5 to come. And they were the first 2. I did them back to back, and they spoke. And the way that our groups have progressed throughout the past 9 years, up to the point where we're at this full day showcase, and still have that loyalty of relationships with people like Marcin, with people like Mike. And we've always taken that quality of speaker and taken that quality of speaker with us. So the majority of people who are part of our group, and even our specialists, it's all authentic, long-term relationships that we treasure to this very day. So I find that really exciting.
But I believe you operate more than one group now. Is that correct? Or is it one?
So yes, so the groups progressed. Like it went from this, we had to go to this community center because Marcin and Mike started that. And then we moved from that point, to the Bayview Golf and Country Club. We just had the one group. And now we take over the whole ballroom there. And we have them every month. And we have fully sponsored clubs. So we have our team of experts there. And we noticed over the years when people are traveling to our groups, they're traveling from various areas. A lot of people were coming from the Barrie area, which is over an hour away north, from the Niagara area, which is over an hour away south. And we were thinking, this is a needed thing. I think more groups need to come into fruition. Now, there's a lot of real estate groups out there. And we're not just the only kids on the block, but we're pretty much one of the oldest on the block, I like to say. And, but when we expanded to Barrie about 1.5 years ago, that was the need for that, because Simcoe County needs an authentic real estate group. People need to get this information because I feel like there's a lot of me's out there.
Right.
And there's people who really, all they want to do is build this freedom in their life. They want to, build wealth in their life, and they just don't know how to. And we're here to show people, how to get this freedom in your life in the real way. Here's some real estate opportunities. And you don't have to go out and be a full-time investor. It just teaches you to really invest different and give you the support that you need. So we expanded to Barrie. It was very successful. And from that, we expanded out to our West group, where we had an event last night in Burlington. And that group is our earliest, but it is slowly growing. And we're looking to expand in other parts of Ontario and then Canada as well. We're dedicated to helping as many people as possible.
Fantastic. Monika, time flies when we're having fun. If people want to find out more about you and real property investments, what should they do?
Well, you can check me out on social media. It's Monika Vaughn or Real Property Investments on Facebook, or check out our website at rpinvestments.ca. We are shut down and we have a coming soon page, but it has all of our handles and our information. And of course, you could always Google me.
Very good. Thank you very much. And everybody, thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Take care. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, thanks very much for checking out the Property Profits podcast. And if you like what we're doing here, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. Be very, very much appreciated. And if you're looking to create a regular flow of inbound investor inquiries about your real estate deals, then I invite you to attend one of my upcoming live online demonstrations. And you can check that out at investorattractiondemo.com. Take care.